Hello, everyone, and welcome to Truly Bedrock Season 4. This is episode 10. Hope we got this right. So, in the last episode, we did some work around the base. We put some glow lichen up above, which you can kind of see a weird texture shine through of the dome here. And we did the floor that we're standing on. We've got quite a bit of work done. We put a glass layer in so we can still see down to the bottom, which I think is pretty nice. We did the arched stairway as well, getting us up to the top here, and it's all coming together. We also moved our mushroom cow down here so we can get some mushroom stew as we're working around the base area. Now, if you missed it, we did do a little live stream where we kind of just chatted and we got ourselves a bunch of sand. I need sand. I need glass. I need bottles. That's essentially what this is boiling down to. I need to smelt up 36 stacks of sand, which is this many. That's going to give me 18 stacks of sand just to have, plus the 9 that I have in the chest over there. Gives me a full chest. And what I want to do is I want to convert this farm from honeycomb to honey. So we're going to need a lot of sand. We're going to need a lot of bottles. I'm pretty sure that you can reuse your honey bottles like you can after certain potions, like our potions of fire resistance here. We can, after we drink these, we can reuse the bottles. Things like splash potions or lingering potions, we cannot do that. I'm pretty sure. Now, I just jumped over to a creative copy of the Truly Bedrock server, which I downloaded to kind of show off the roof after we finished that. Obviously, this was done before we built the staircase, but as I said, you can reuse the bottles for potions. You will get a bottle. What I was unsure of is if we craft the honey blocks, do we get the bottles back? We do. Now, as you saw there, honey unfortunately only stacks in stacks of 16, so we are going to have to keep a good eye on our farm and make sure that we are recycling our bottles. Luckily for us, we are going to have these indication lights that tell us we have the default game tick set really, really high. We have these indication lights that tell us when these things are empty or full. So that's going to work out in our favor. But what we need to do is we need to get glass bottles. And of course, to get these, we need glass. And of course, to get that, we need the sand, so on and so forth. It's all a process. And that's why we went and got all of that sand. Now, we could run it through our furnace setup here. This little guy here. I am going to keep these furnaces, but for the most part, these are just going to be if I need to smelt small things. I think what we need to do is set up a good little furnace array and maybe start digging this area down and go underneath and put that in there. I think we're about out of room in here. There's some decoration that needs to be done for sure over on the actual server, not on the creative copy. And yeah, I think we need to do quite a few things.
Alright, we got an area dug out, and fairly decent, directly underneath where our bees and kelp and stuff is. And I think we're going to go with water elevators instead of having the scaffolding. Eventually, I think what we're going to do is as we build layers like this, we're going to have alternating water elevators. So there's going to be 2 water elevators here that'll bring me to this floor, and then these 2 will take me up, and so on and so forth. As you guys can see, we've kind of been laying out a little bit of something or other on this back wall. And I'm just kind of getting like a facade built, because I do want this to look good when we're done. Not 100% sure on the deep slate tiles though. I love the deep slate tiles, they are my favorite, but I think this whole build is going to look better in the deep slate bricks. Can I get up here? There we go. Give me those. And yeah, that's a way, that's a better look to it. And we have a lot of work that needs to be done down here at the moment, right? Right now we're just kind of getting a facade, but I still need to get in here and place in a ton of hoppers. We need to get our minecarts set up. We need to get quite a few things going on. The super smelter, we're not going to use it very often. Probably by the time we get this thing done, we could have had maybe a shulker box worth of glass smelted, but hey, every now and then we are going to do some smelting. So anyway, back in the day, before we had all these nice different blocks of stairs and slab variants, rather, I used to build this out of stone brick, and I would actually mix in some nether brick stairs with it. Now that we have all these new blocks and stuff, I'm trying to do a little bit of a different setup here. We've still obviously got the stone bricks and whatnot, but I'm thinking the deep slate and the black stone is going to look a lot better. There's going to be a roof in here. There's going to be a floor. So we need to get a bunch of hoppers placed behind all these furnaces and have a collection location for all the stuff that we are going to be smelting. We need to hook up an input for fuel, and we need to hook up an input for the smeltable items. Now, as you guys will notice, we actually have 16 furnaces here, and I know we could do more. I know we could have a line of like 30, 32 somewhere in there before we start running into the problem of where hoppers max out and we would need a secondary hopper line. But 16 is a good number for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it is a quarter of a stack, so we will be smelting a quarter of a stack of items at a time. And the other thing that I'm thinking about is fuel. So for fuel, we have many options. We have things like bamboo. We have blaze rods, kelp, coal, wood. I mean, there's many options that we can use. Scaffolding, for instance. But all of that requires some setup, right? Bamboo. A zero tick wouldn't be a bad idea. I just don't know. Zero ticks, for me, seems to be unreliable, so I'm not really considering that one as an option. Kelp, we would have to build a much bigger farm than what I have. Things like blaze rods and coal, we could set up a nether side farm like we did last season, but we'd have to AFK at that for a bunch of stuff. So what I think we're gonna do is lava. Lava. We have pointed dripstone, we have a bucket of lava, we can make cauldrons, and we can set this up for lava. And so I'm going to end up using a minecart chest probably sitting somewhere in here that is going to feed these guys with their lava, and so I don't want any more than what a single chest of items can hold, which is 27. That is the idea anyway. So yes, I want to actually get some lava production set up, and to do that, we're going to need a bunch of cauldrons, and I'm not sure if I have enough. I'm not sure if I want to stick with double the amount, which would be 32. Last season, we had the super smelter in the nether there that we were working on, and I should have left some of this stuff downstairs. It seemed to work out okay, having double, meaning having 32 cauldrons for 16 furnaces. So we're gonna start off with 32 and see what that's like. I think we might want to even double this number up. I think. The reason being is I want to keep a steady supply of fuel in this thing so we don't have to worry about it. But I think this is going to work. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at setting up some kind of dripstone down here in the bottom. Get some lava set up so we can start looking at getting this thing all fired up. Well, as you can see, a lot of work has been done since the last clip. There's a lot of stuff that we just kind of started grinding and getting done, and the aesthetics of this place is looking pretty decent. Now, one thing you'll notice is I have the cauldrons lined out, similar to how I have the furnaces. So you can't actually see the lava being produced, but it is. Any of these cauldrons that are bright like this, not dull like this, have lava in them, which is pretty neat. I think this is kind of a neat way to do the lava, to make this room look cohesive. There's still quite a bit that needs to be done with the ceiling and the floor and finishing up. I do want to take out some of this because it's going to be covered up by the roof, and I misplaced all of these blocks coming around. But there was a lot more that needed to be done. So before I show off the furnace area, this guy and how it all works, I want to take you back to a very, very old base of mine. Some of the very first Minecraft videos I did were from this base. Unfortunately, with the introduction of magma blocks and bone blocks and red nether brick, when water touched glass during that update, and this was pre-bedrock, it created a flowing water texture, which isn't a big deal for most people, but I had turned an ocean monument into a glass monument. Yeah, my whole game crashed and I couldn't load it, and it was just a pain in the butt. So I essentially had to start over in a new world, but my base was cool nonetheless. For lack of better explanation, it was a plus sign, underground, and you came down in this section right here, which was a bulk storage, or my storage area. All of the different things could be stored in this room. The center portion was a slime farm, which was pretty neat. It was a cylinder. Everywhere inside the base you could see that slime farm working, and a neat little thing about the base is there was a ravine above it. So I actually had the collection system for the slime farm in that ravine, and I had something like a stack of 64 double chests that were completely full. It was nuts. The whole goal of that world was to automate everything that could be automated. So anyway, on the right hand side I had a villager trading hall. Behind the villager trading hall I actually had some automatic potato, carrot, and wheat farms. On this side we had a storage facility that was automatically sorted, and that was for all the mineable items such as stone, cobblestone, andesite, granite, diorite, dirt, all the different metals, iron, gold, lapis, diamond, redstone, and of course their fortuned counterpart was also sorted out. I think I ended up changing it at some point to be just the fortuned items, I don't remember, but there was a chest I could dump all my items into after mining, and they would be sorted out into this area. Over on this side, I had a villager breeder, and I actually had a tunnel where you could watch the villagers come through, come around, and they would pop up into the trading hall, which I thought was pretty cool. The back section, I didn't know what to put in, and what I ended up doing was a foundry. So it was set up similar to this, but instead of having the furnaces visible, they were tucked away behind here, and so all you could see was like fire, and two chests sat like this, 2 minecart chests sat in the middle here. You pushed a button and off they went. The minecart with the fuel would go, and it would bounce around and around and around, and eventually just bounce back and make its way to its resting point. The neat thing about the items that we were going to smelt, which as you can see, this thing did not do what I intended it to do, would run around and around and around and around and around, and eventually drop from the ceiling down to its final resting location. Let's take a look at this and what I have going on here. Essentially, we have a minecart rail going there, and a minecart coming back, and this detector is supposed to detect stuff in the minecart and keep it running. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, this is not... It worked up until this point. So I still have 5 stacks of sand. I don't know why that is, so we'll have to troubleshoot that. But essentially, the minecart runs over this detector. It detects it. After it bounces back, if there's items still in the cart, this rail actually turns to be this way, and the minecart will just go back. If there's no items in it, it's going to go up this track and fall into its final resting position, which you saw. So let's go ahead and place this guy down. And place the items back into its location, which was here. Aha! That is the culprit. The minecart, or the signal strength coming off of this comparator is not enough. So that's all it is. It needs to be enough for here. If I put a redstone... Yeah. That should be good enough. So as you can see, the minecart rail has changed, so once it hits this, it's going to bounce and bounce back. Essentially completing its revolution. Oh, man. Let's go ahead and send this bad boy again. This is kind of the first time I'm testing this, so you guys get to see that. The delay, there's something with the delay. I had it perfect with the 1 repeater. The 2nd repeater is gonna throw me off just a little bit. Let's see if this helps. There we go. 4 ticks of delay, it seems, is perfect. So we've got 1 tick of delay there, 3 there. And this thing should just keep going back and forth, which is really, really neat. Nice. So, 16 furnaces was planned, like I said in the last clip, because there's going to be an even number of items coming through here. There should be an even number of items that eventually come into this portion here. And I really, really like it. Once it's all said and done, the minecart will fall down and it will end up right here, which I think is super cool. To get this bad boy popping off, we just got to put lava in it, and I'm only ever going to put 16 buckets in this thing at a time. Eventually, 8 buckets will end up over here, and 8 buckets will end up over here, where I actually accidentally have a hopper. So, with that being said, I should be able to take a bunch of this, and we should be able to get this smelter fired up. Now, this thing has returned. Why can't I open you? Darn it. I didn't mean to break the rail, but obviously the minecart was empty, so that's really good. Everything's working as intended. And now all we need to do is throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 buckets in here. And off she goes.
Really? She double dumped into this furnace here. Okay. Ah, I see why. You need something like 2 rails at a flat section past this thing. So we're going to have to bring this up by like this. Which I believe will work like that. It shouldn't matter that that one shoots off because it should be empty. But now, we have glass, we have buckets, and this thing is smelting up really, really fast, which is nice. And we can just come and pull our lava sources. Which, of course, this thing doesn't have enough. It's 2 buckets shy, but that is okay. That is what this is for. Let's test this once again. You guys get to be a part of the testing. Now, with this smelting the way it is, did it double dump into this again? It did. Is it because... I think it's because I need... Maybe I need some powered rails here instead of regular old rail. Which we should be able to nab. I don't have any more and I'm running low on gold. I should be able to just nab... like... that one... and potentially... that one? And we'll have to test and see if this works. I'm pretty sure it will. We have to get this cart up to speed, otherwise it's going to be slow and pull items out of the hopper. So yeah, that is our super smelter done and dusted. For the most part, I want to get the rest of my sand smelting up and get a ton of glass, which we're getting. It's nice. We're not going to use this thing all the time, but I do love what's going on here so far. Provided this thing continues to work as I intend, I'm happy with it. Now, unfortunately, I am out of recording time, and I need to get this video edited and rendered and ready for upload and all of those other things, so the rest of this room is going to have to wait. I'm getting the item elevators, getting this back wall, getting the roof, getting this floor all done up is going to have to wait till the next episode. But that is our super smelter. I think it's super cool. I like the mine carts here that just kind of go around and around and around and eventually dump down into their respective locations. I think that's super cool. I like the symmetry of the lava versus the furnaces here, and I think it all looks super cool. This area is turning out really good. I did start smelting some of this to get the cracked brick variant. We are going to be placing that in here as well at some point. But anyway, as I said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to hit that like button. Consider a comment and consider subscribing. I goofed that up. If you're new to the channel, check the description down below for all the different ways to follow me, including a link to Twitter, Twitch, Discord, Truly Bedrock Discord, Truly Bedrock website. Check the description down below for all the other, or links to all the other Truly Bedrock members' YouTube channels. It's very early in the morning and I'm trying to finish this up. I apologize. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.